Welcome to Scientics. In this lesson, we're going to discover how the relationship between pressure, volume, and temperature in gases is unified in a single powerful equation, the combined gas law. The combined gas law combines three gas laws. It includes Boyle's law, Charles' law, and Gay-Lussac law. The combined gas law states that the ratio of the product of pressure and volume to the gas absolute temperature is constant. In other words, this rule explains changes in pressure, volume, and temperature. Now, key takeaways in combined gas law. The combined gas law is one of the ideal gas laws. Only temperature, pressure, and volume can be changed while using this law. There is no change in the quantity or number of moles of gas. The law generally says that a gas absolute temperature, volume, and pressure ratios all equal a certain constant. Thus, you can predict the impact of a change in one of these variables on the others. According to the formula in our book, it states that Boyle's law has a formula of pressure directly proportional to 1 divided by volume, or can be classified as pressure times volume equals K. Charles' law has a formula of volume directly proportional to temperature, or can be classified as volume divided by temperature equals K. Gay-Lussac's law, pressure directly proportional to temperature, or can be classified as pressure divided by temperature equals K. Now, if we derive as one formula, we can get the formula of pressure times volume divided by temperature equals K. Another common formula here is P1 times V1 times T2 equals P2 times V2 times T1 equals K, where P1 equals initial pressure, V1 as initial volume, T1 equals initial temperature, and P2 equals final pressure, V2 equals final volume, and T2 equals final temperature. It's important to note that the temperature should always be in Kelvin. So if the unit is in Celsius, this must be converted to Kelvin by adding 273.50. If in Fahrenheit, you can use this formula. K equals, open parenthesis, F minus 32, close parenthesis, times 5 divided by 9 plus 273.15. Now that we know the formula, let's try and answer this question. A fuel sample with an initial capacity of 2.5 liters, 1.2 atm of strain, and 40 Celsius in temperature is used. After that, the temperature is raised to 45 Celsius and the gasoline is compressed to a volume of 1.5 liters. What may the gas new pressure be? So we can start by stating out our given. P1 equals 1.2 atm, P2, that's what we're finding, T1 is equals to 40 Celsius, T2 is equals to 45 Celsius, V1 equals 2.5 liters, and V2 is equals to 1.5 liters. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is to convert our Celsius temperature into Kelvin. Now, we can add 273.15 to 400 Celsius. It's equals to 313.15 Kelvin. And then we can add also 273.15 to 45 Celsius. That's equals to 318.15 Kelvin. After converting Celsius into Kelvin, we must state now our formula. To know what formula we're going to use, we must read the last part of our question. In our question, it's asked what our new gas pressure will be. So what we're going to find is the new pressure, which is P2 or pressure 2. Now, the formula we're going to use is P2 equals P1 times V1 times T2 divided by V2 times T1. The next step is to substitute all of our given numbers into our formula. Now, we can state our solution. P2 equals 1.2 atm times 2.5 liters times 318.15 Kelvin divided by 1.5 liters times 313.15 Kelvin. Now, by solving our solution, we can get the final answer of 2.03 atm. Now, let's try a different approach. What if we turn Celsius into Fahrenheit? Our second question is, the initial volume of the air sample is 3.0 liters at 1.5 atm pressure and 68 Fahrenheit. The gas is then heated to 86 Fahrenheit and compressed to 2.0 liters. What will be the new pressure of the gas? Now, let's start with stating our given. P1 equals 1.5 atm. P2, that's what we're finding. T1 equals 68 Fahrenheit and T2 equals 86 Fahrenheit. V1 equals 3.0 liters. V2 equals 2.0 liters. Now, the next thing we're going to do is to convert our Fahrenheit temperature into Kelvin. K equals, open parenthesis, 68 Fahrenheit minus 32, close parenthesis, times 5 divided by 9 plus 273.15. Now that's equals to 293.15 Kelvin. Now, let's do the same thing with our final temperature. T2 equals 86 Fahrenheit equals K equals, open parenthesis, 86 Fahrenheit minus 32, close parenthesis, times 5 divided by 9 plus 273.15 equals 3.15 Kelvin. After converting Fahrenheit into Kelvin, we must state now our formula. To know what formula we're going to use, we must read the last part of our question. In our question, it asks what our new pressure will be. So, what we're going to find is the new pressure, which is P2. Now, the formula we're going to use is P2 equals P1 times V1 times T2 divided by V2 times T1. The next step is to substitute all our given numbers into our formula. Now, we can state our solution. P2 equals to 1.5 atm times 3.0 liters times 303.15 Kelvin divided by 2.0 liters times 293.15 Kelvin. Now, by solving our solution, we can get the final answer. Now, by solving our solution, we can get the final answer of 2.326 atm, or rounded off as 200.33 atm. Now that you understand how to apply and combine gas law formula, I'd like to leave you with a new question to improve your combined gas law equation solving skills. Now, try to answer this question. The pressure of a 6.2 liters air sample at negative 21.30 Celsius is 2 atm. If the temperature is increased to 69.21 Celsius, the volume increased to 8.2 liters, what would be the new pressure? And that's the end of this lesson. We've learned that combined gas law is a combination of Boyle's law, Charles' law, and Gay-Lussac law. We've learned how to calculate it for any missing symbol. You just have to remember our formula, as well as the formula to convert Celsius and Fahrenheit into Kelvin. And also, don't forget, getting good at science takes curiosity and consistent effort. Thanks for watching Scientix, and I'll see you next time.